Okay, the Astra is ready to be picked up. Just text the neighbor. And now we're going to work on this 2007 BMW E61. It's from a colleague at work. There's no really relevance to that information, but it might make you to understand a couple of things that I might say throughout the video. And the engine on this is the 525 diesel, and I was not to record this, to be honest. And the reason why I was not to record this is because I was literally requested to do two things on this car. I was not requested to diagnose anything. I was just requested to do a couple of jobs. And the guy basically works with me, and he came to me and he told me, or he asked me if I could replace the glow plugs and the glow plug controller. He said there is codes on the ECU for all the glow plugs apparently, and he wants that replaced. Also, the reason why he wants that done, it's not a very good job, isn't it? Anyway, the reason why he wants that done is because and I've seen in the car park sometimes when we leave work at the end of the shift, is because the car starts relatively okay, but for the first few seconds the car is like misfiring, so he has a really erratic idling. He really looks like he's misfiring, and he smokes a little bit. But this is only, guys, for the first maybe 30 seconds, if that, and then it clears and the car is fine. The idling goes down to where it should be, smooth, fine, no problems at all. I also seen that in the morning. I don't know if you've seen the video for the Astra. You've seen the Astra was there, and this was right behind. And when I started for the first time, the car was dropped here last Sunday. Today is Wednesday, and I haven't started the car since then. So when I started this morning to pull it backwards so I could get out with the Astra, I actually noticed that. So the car today is not too cold, but the car started relatively well, no problems at all. Pretty much on the first turn it started straight away, but the first maybe 10 seconds the car was like sort of shaking, and I've seen a small puff of smoke. Not too bad, to be fair with you. I've seen it worse at work when sometimes you start it if it's really cold. But yeah, that's the symptoms of the car. And he says there's codes on ECU for all the glow plugs. So I'm going to imagine that he had someone scanning the car and all that good stuff. And literally I was asked, look, replace me all the glow plugs and the controller. And I said, yeah, no problems at all. I can do that. And I was not to record that because I've captured that in several videos in the past for other BMWs, and I can tell you that the glow plugs, they can indeed cause that sort of symptoms. The glow plugs on these engines. So I know because I've seen it, and I had cars with not the 525, but I had two BMWs with the 530 diesel, and I know that the glow plugs can do that sort of things to these cars. They can smoke a little bit when they are cold. They can looks like they're misfiring when they are cold. So I know they do that. So I said to him, yeah, no problems at all. However, when I came in the morning to move the car, I've seen something that I don't recall the glow plugs causing this. And I thought, let me record this so I have a proof. Well, the guy, I guess he trusts me, but at least I'll have a proof that something else might be wrong with this. I don't know. I haven't scanned the car yet at all. We're just going to move the car forward, but I'm going to show you what it is that I don't think it causes this to happen. Though this is the facelift, is the E60. Well, it's the E61, but it's the facelift model, and I don't know if that changed something, but one thing that I don't think we'll do is, no, that is the typical one, we all know about it, is that one. I don't know if the glow plugs will cause the engine light to come on and engine fault reduced power. I don't really recall the glow plugs doing this, so I just thought I will give you a recording. I'll give you a scan obviously to show you. So we're gonna actually move this forward. Hold on, I can't put, the intake is on that side, so I'm gonna need space on that side. I can't put it all against there, so I need a little space on there. Put it like this, like so. That should do. A little bit more. Yep, that should do. Okay, let me get the maxi Cs and we'll give a scan and we'll try to understand why you do have a reduced power and why we have the engine light on. Okay, and let's gonna see what the engine is complaining about. I'll be surprised if it's only glow plugs. Glow plugs usually don't reduce the power of the car, so we do have indeed glow plug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's correct. Wow. Really? That's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so let me try to do something here. Let me just try to do something here. Okay, so is that going to be 8,000 millibars? I think the DPF has been already removed on this thing. Probably, don't know. Anyway, that's not what I was trying to looking for. Okay, all the glow plugs, well, it could be all the glow plugs gone. That's definitely something that could be. Okay, we don't have, yeah, the hotel on here usually doesn't give you a lot to do. However, okay, you can't do nothing here. So let me try to do one thing here. Will the light go off if I clear the codes? Wow, it does goes off, and obviously it comes back on. Right, maybe I actually, yeah, there you go. So maybe I already knew this and I just forgot that, but I'm actually surprised that, yeah, okay, that's fine. Silly me then. Yeah, it looks like it's just glow plugs, so am I gonna still record this? Why not? Okay, and I'm gonna try to do a couple checks with the engine running. So if I need to take the glow plugs out, I want the engine to be fully warmed up. So I'm gonna leave the engine here idling. We're gonna take the engine cover, and because all the 6 glow plugs are faulting, I want to do a couple checks before we actually go and blame the glow plugs and the controller. There is a power supply to the controller. 2 power supplies actually, and we need to make sure they are there in order for the controller to work. So we're not going to just start to replace things. We're going to do a couple checks first and then we'll go from there. Ended up turning the engine off. Something came up and I had to stop what I was doing back into it. So I managed to unplug the 2 plugs from the module. So one is that one in there, that round one with 1 pin only, which is the main power supply. That is what actually powers the glow plugs, okay? And then I unplugged the actually module itself, which is that plug in there, okay? And that one is this one here, which is the plug where the glow plugs connect and all the other wires. This is roughly the diagram. So on the plug itself, the orientation here is exactly the same as is in there, as you can see in there. Okay, same orientation. Okay, and pins 1 to 4 are so GP stands for glow plug, are glow plugs 1 to 4, and then 5 and 6 are on the other end on the bottom row. Then pin 5 on that plug is 12 volts ignition voltage. Pin 6 is going to be my ground, and pin 12 is going to be my LIN bus. So we're going to do a few checks quickly, make sure we have all of that in there, and we can also measure the glow plugs through that plug, because it is nearly impossible to get to the glow plugs with the intake in place. We're going to quickly do that and see what we have. Okay, and I have my test light. Let's just test, make sure it's working. It is. So it's connected to ground and I'm touching voltage. So let's see if we have voltage on these. Oh, I'm going to do this so you can see what I'm doing. I don't know if you can see it like so. Can you see the drawing? No, you kind of not. So let's see the round one, the main voltage for the glow plugs. Oh, there we go. Can you see the test light? Well, you can see it illuminating. Might be slightly better like this. So the main round plug, there we go. We have 12 volts. That's this one that I'm checking here. Okay. Now we're gonna go turn the ignition on first. Okay, ignition is on. And now we're gonna check the other 12 volts. That's gonna be pin 5. So on the plug, you can't really see the plug in there, but it's the second pin at the top, as per the diagrams I've showed you. There we go. Can you see the light coming on and off? So we do have 12 volts ignition. Now I'm gonna switch the test light to power, and we're gonna check the ground, which is the pin on the side. There we go. Can you see it coming on? I know you can't really see the test light, but you can see the light there. Okay, last thing to test is my LIN bus. Okay, probing now pin 12. You can't really see it, guys, but I'm probing pin 12, which is my LIN bus, and there we have it. Okay, so nothing out of the ordinary for a LIN bus signal. I'm happy with this. So the next check is going to be the glow plugs themselves. Checking the glow plugs, I'm going to check it from 1 to 6 on the plug itself. So number 1, which obviously I'm going to follow the diagram. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So number 1, we have 0.9 megaohms. That's a bad glow plug. Second, open line. Okay. Third, open line. Fourth, open line. Number 5, 38 ohms. That's a bad glow plug as well. And number 6, 180 kiloohms. Wow, 6 bad glow plugs. So at this point, I will say maybe the module is actually good and we don't need to replace the module. So I'm going to start by replacing the glow plugs, and I could test the module to see if the module is actually outputting voltage, but it's going to be a little bit tricky to back probe that down there, that plug down there, and obviously I don't have access to the glow plugs, so it can be a little bit tricky. To replace the glow plugs, the intake needs to come off anyway, and then we can do further testing if we feel we have to. But for now, it looks like it just needs 6 glow plugs. And 150 pounds later, I have some of the parts. So we have the 6 brand new glow plugs, and I have the gaskets for the intake manifold. BMW didn't have all of them, so the other ones will be there tomorrow morning. which I'll pick them up in the morning when I drop the girls at school. But the gaskets alone was £90, plus the glow plugs, which was about £70 or something like that, or 60 odd pounds. So about £150 later. Gaskets are really expensive, so there is 6 round gaskets that goes right here at the end. Then there's another 6 square ones that goes on this side, and I also bought the round one, the big one that goes here on the throttle body. So if you want to save yourself 90 quid when you do this job, don't buy the gaskets. It's always advised to replace the gaskets you disturb during this procedure, but if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Sometimes I have people that comes and they just say as cheap as possible, and obviously I try to reutilize as much as I can. In this case, was spoken with the owner. It was previously agreed that we would replace these gaskets, so we're going to do it. So today we're going to try to do, or I'm going to try to do as much as I can with removing all these trims at the back, so I can take the intake out. Not that it matters for the video, but the owner of this car is actually on holidays and is back on Friday. Today is Wednesday, and I'm working Thursday night and Friday night, which means if I can't finish this tomorrow, I'm going to have to finish it Saturday afternoon, which means I'm not going to be able to give him the car back when he gets back from holidays. But that is not important for the video. He's actually happy to leave the car here until Monday next week, so if something goes wrong. But the only other thing, the module, so obviously I'm not bothered with the module too much just yet. After the checks we have done, the module at BMW is £250. I know for a fact I can get that module way cheaper online, and genuine, not genuine BMW, but genuine the manufacturer. Usually is Beru that does these modules, but yeah, I know for a fact I can get it much cheaper. But so far, guys, it looks like might not be nothing wrong with the module. We can test that better once we have the intake removed, because at the moment to back probe that plug underneath is a little bit of a nightmare, and I can't even get to the plugs themselves, so it can be a little bit tricky. But we're gonna have to take all of these out anyway, so that's what we're gonna do. So I guess I'll catch you later when we have some work done. Okay, so far so good. I think I'm ready to pull it out. There we go. Okay, so manifold is out. I'm quite surprised that these ports are so clean. Don't know what the heck's going on, but it's really clean. Look at these ports. Look at that. They are relative. I've seen them completely caked. And these seals are definitely really low. Really low. These ones would do again, probably, don't know, but we're just gonna replace them anyway. But yeah, it's not too bad. I'm actually surprised how clean these actually is. Really clean. Okay, next step is obviously try to pull the glow plugs out. And then we can actually test without even starting the car, because if you remember, I cleared the codes and the codes came back straight away. So if I replace the glow plugs and then I try to clear the codes, if the codes goes away, then that means we might have a good module. With ISTA, I can definitely activate the plugs, and the ISTA actually measures how much current consumption is taken, does the calculations, and it tells you if everything is good or if there's any glow plugs that are out. Right, so, or something along those lines. Let's going to try to take the glow plugs and see how it goes. Okay, and I know you can't really see too much from there, but the first one is coming out beautifully, and there is the first one. Now, I think this car has the EGR blanked, because look at that. You can even see clean metal on these imports. Look at that. So there's no chance the EGR might be blocked or something along those lines. It's the only explanation for this to be so clean. Yeah, that's what makes sense to me. So let's gonna try to take another one. And this first glow plug came out really well. Let's see the second one. Beautifully. Yeah, came out like butter. Really well. Oh, okay. Let me lose all of them. Sweet. Let me see if they all come loose. Then I need to clean this before. Yeah. Still fairly. A little bit more stubborn. That came out. That's right. Okay, one left. Piece of cake. Really easy. Let's gonna take them all out and put the new ones in. Okay, all the glow plugs are in place with a little bit of grease. And we're gonna screw them all down until they stop. This ratchet is jumping some teeth sometimes. So now we are going to use the shorter extension to reduce the torsion on the do this. And I'm doing 11 Newton meters. I think the spec is 10. I'm gonna give just one more. Oops. Yeah. Oh, I broke it, but I didn't. Whew. Right, so now is we're gonna plug them back in and we're gonna give it a test. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we definitely not going to finish this today, not just because I don't have all the seals in there. There is 2 square missing and the one for the throttle body. But I'm not finishing it off because I found another issue. Now, this is an issue that I just went to check because pretty much every car I worked with this engine, I always found this as being an issue. And this was no different, so I'll show you what it is. Let me just put the flash on the phone. Okay, let me see if I can show you. So can you look here where this coolant sort of Y fitting meets the head? Look what happens if I do this. See, it was already wet around here, and as you can see, as soon as I touch it, it starts leaking. So they are known for leaking over there. So we're gonna have to take that off, replace the clean the surface and replace that that gasket as well. But again, I'm not going to have it now until tomorrow afternoon, because when I rang BMW, it was already too late to get it for tomorrow. So we are definitely going to finish this only on Saturday. But nevertheless, we are ready to just go and test, make sure the glow plugs now work and we don't have faults, which means hopefully we don't need the module. So we're going to quickly just go here. Let me get the tool. Oh, come here. So where's the key? Let me get the key. Okay, so let's gonna turn the ignition on. That's it, ignition on. Obviously, guys, just remember we're gonna have other faults, because I have other things disconnected at the moment. So we might gonna get other faults, but that doesn't really matter. And now we're gonna come here and let me just log in everything, and then we'll see which faults we have. Okay, let's gonna read the codes. So, boost pressure, yes, I know. So all the glow plugs are absent. Oh, damn it. Hold on, because I still have everything disconnected, do I? What a silly boy. Okay, I completely forgot to connect the module, didn't I? That's why I have these bit serial data interface, no communications with the glow plug control unit. So it's going to go back, clear these codes. Okay, read codes again. And look at that. We have two codes for the boost pressure sensor, which we know is disconnected, and for the throttle valve actuator, which we do know is disconnected. Just let's just do it again. There we go. Let's actually come out of the ECU, and let's gonna do something here. Let's gonna cycle the ignition just to make sure. Key out. Key on. Let's do it again. Two faults. Look at that. Perfect. So there is no reason for me to believe that there is an issue with the module itself. I think the guy was really lucky, because the module is good. Yes, I could now back probe the glow plugs in there, see if they were being activated and all that good stuff. But as you have seen before, we clear the faults and straight away we had the faults coming back. I could plug in ISTA. ISTA would tell me the consumption of these glow plugs, and I could see if they were good or bad. But there is no reason for me to believe that. Even if I need to remove the glow plug controller module later, I can still do it even with the manifold in place. It is awkward, indeed it is, but it can be done. So, but yeah, I have no reasons to believe that there is any issues with the glow plug. So with the glow plug controller. So the guy was really lucky this time, because the glow plugs went without taking the module. Really good. So I've also already cleaned everything. Really surprised. I haven't cleaned nothing here, because this is exactly how it came out. Look, there's nothing here. Either this manifold has been cleaned not long ago, or the EGR has been deactivated, perhaps in the software. Definitely the EGR here is working. I've tried it with the vacuum pump. It's definitely opening and closing. I've cleaned the throttle body anyway, and all of this here. It was not too bad, but I gave it a clean, and we are now ready to put the new seals. That's the old seals at the back. We need the new seals and all that good stuff, and start to put everything back on. But guys, I was really surprised with this. I said it a few times, I was expecting this to be completely clogged. but yeah, it was actually quite clean. Surprise, surprise. So now, yes guys, I'm gonna wait to get the bits we need, and then we're gonna reassemble the car and give you a last test next time we need to start it up. Okay, and just in case if there's any doubts, and even for myself, to be honest with you, let's gonna do just one thing before we go for today, and I'm gonna speed up this bit now so you can see what happens and not taking too long. But I think you guys already guessed what we're gonna do. And I'm pretty sure if there was any doubts, there's no doubts now, are they? Few days later, we do have the parts that we were waiting for. So the gasket for the flange for the coolant, and the gaskets that were left that they didn't have in stock at the time. So we're gonna finish assemble this and then start to assemble the core. And pretty much that's it that we need to do now. So we're gonna take the advantage of the good weather, etc., and let's gonna start to put everything back on. So in order to not spill the coolant, obviously, and is the easiest way, I don't need to drain the entire engine, I just need to drain enough until I get to this level. What I've done is I got this hose here at the back of this pump, and I'm capturing it as much as I can on this little thing. Oh, come on. There it is. So we're going to carry on until we drop enough to remove the flange out. 3 little jars, and that was enough to get the coolant level below that point. And clearly, guys, someone already been here tried to seal this. Look, there's black sealant everywhere, including obviously here. Okay, and you can see how flat the seal is, the gasket is with the plastic, with the actually flange. You see how flat it is, just pretty much. Look, in this corner is not even, look, is pretty much at the same level. Well, it is at the same level, so clearly the reason why it was not really sealing. For the sake of £6, I think it is, the new gasket, why not just replacing it rather than taking it off, put that sealant, put it back on to... Anyway, let's going to pull that out, put the new gasket, and put everything back on. And let me show you how a new gasket looks. Okay, and look how much the new gasket betrays from the actually surface of the flange. So all obviously this is going to seal properly. That's how it should be, and this just shows the importance of replace any seals or any gaskets that you disturb during any work you do. Probably this has been replaced at some point, this has been touched at some point in the past, and they just left the same gasket with some black sealant, which obviously left a small leak in there. It is important because through the heat cycles, etc., these gaskets, they start to, obviously as they are compressed, they start to kind of gain that form, and they lose the sort of elasticity they have initially to keep the pressure, and that's when they start to fail. So this is a primary example of the importance of replacing any gaskets you always touch. So yeah, I think from here I've cleaned the surface in there. From here, guys, is just literally put everything back on. Not rocket science. I'm not really going to take you through this. It's literally just put everything back on, really. We're going to have to take the back covers again to be able to put everything back on, but that's it. That's what we're going to do now. and everything I need to be able to start the engine is now in place. We still have to put the covers, but that is irrelevant for the video. For you guys that are interested, the bolts 8 Newton meters, and then the nuts here at the back 13 Newton meters. Then I think the throttle body there, I think it's 10 or 11, and the rest is just tightened by hand, tightened until a little bit before it breaks. Right, coolant is up to the level, and I'm going to show you. So right at the level, I've noticed, and you can see the coolant here is the red one / pink. I'm pretty sure until 2017 BMW used to use the blue coolant. I'm pretty sure of that. Someone obviously done some work and put the red one. I'm pretty sure it used to be the blue. Regardless of that, we're gonna start this thing now. I haven't started this since Wednesday, so today is Saturday afternoon, so it hasn't started for a couple of days. So it's going to be a very good test for the cold start. If you remember at the start of the video, I've explained you that the engine used to shake a little bit all over the place, as if it was misfiring for the first few seconds, and it used to smoke a little bit. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to record both things at the same time. I might put the phone at the back of the car so you can see what's coming out from the exhaust. That said, my predict is going to smoke a tiny bit because we've been disturbing that. It's going to be probably loose bits of carbon, and as that is swallowed by the engine and burned out, it might going to make a little bit of smoke, possibly, I don't know. But regardless of that, let's going to try to start it up. Actually, I'm just going to try to start it up from here, and I will try to go straight away show you the exhaust. So key on, glow plugs, as you've seen, came on. Okay, smoke, no really, and it's running absolutely perfect. Running really smooth, as you can see. No shaking, no vibrations, no nothing. That's it. To be honest with you, I already mentioned this on other videos. The glow plugs on these engines, on these BMWs, are crucial. They need to be working for the engine to function properly. So now what we're going to do is going to do a quick scan. Let me just see if we do still have the engine light on, or that warning. No, we don't, so that's gone. We're gonna plug in the maxi-sys, clear the codes, because obviously I had fuel rail pressure sensor at the back disconnected along other stuff, and we're just gonna quickly scan the car, clear the codes, and wrap up this video. And I'm gonna do another scan and just clear any codes on the car, and that's it. So just hold a second. I think this is the last 2 codes we have seen earlier. Shouldn't take too long. A bit of glare, I do apologize for that. Like this. So I'm not too worried about these headlights, because the headlights, I'll just show you. I don't know which headlights this is supposed to have, but there's all of these aftermarket stuff installed, so I'm not worried too much. I'm interested only on the engine, to be fair with you. There should be past codes for throttle body, I think, and what else? Boost pressure and throttle valve. There we go. So absent codes, so we'll clear these codes. And to be fair with you, I'm not sure if I'm interested with anything else. We'll just do a quick erasing. Okay, and surprisingly only the AC or HVAC system came with 2 faults. I already checked, there's 1 fault for the fog sensor and 1 fault for the one of the, I think is the air recirculation flap. Doesn't really matter. In the meantime, while I was doing the erasing, I've already put everything back onto the engine, as you can see. So everything is reassembled, and that's it really. The car is ready to go, and I think I'm not gonna, there's nothing else really to capture on this. Again, just to reiterate the importance of the glow plugs on these cars. Diesel engines is really important to have them working properly. Surprised to me that the glow plugs made the engine light come on. Okay, learned something on this one, and that's it really. So nothing else to say. With no further ado, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Hope maybe you learned something. If you do still have any questions or any comments, you guys know exactly how it works. Just put them below. And like always, thank you for watching.